Fuzzical Fighter is a strange one. It's a real collection of decisions that make you go, why would you create a game this way? Just look when you start the game. You're in the king's throne room, he gives you some money. So this is an RPG, right? Nope, it's a shoot 'em up. You get money from shooting down enemies and use it to buy new equipment, but there's no experience or leveling up or exploration. They just bolted on a very poorly done set of RPG-style screens. The plot of the game is that on the fantasy world of Funny, the dimension stone that keeps everyone safe has been stolen. You've been summoned to the king, and he gives you a Fuzzical Fighter for you to go out and defeat attacking enemies and get the stone back. Between levels, you're in an RPG town, and talking to the king gets you the password. That's really all you can do there. You have to hit the A button on the steps to change location, and then there's always the 3 shops in the town, all on the same screen. You might have noticed that there are no other characters to talk to, nothing else to do, no exits. This is it. There's always an item shop, which is more important than you might realize, because the item shop sells permanent power-ups. They do sell the usual healing items, but they also sell permanent upgrades to your health, magic, which starts at 0 so you don't have any until you purchase one, and Fuzzical. Do not purchase any Fuzzical upgrades. At the ship parts store you can buy weapons, engines, and shields, which will deflect some shots. Be careful about shopping there because you could always buy the default equipment, and that is just a total waste of money. You hit the start button to bring up your ship's loadout, and that's where you change out your equipment and select your magic ability. With magic, you can destroy all enemies and bullets on the screen, warp back to the king, or heal yourself for a varying amount of points. And the very last option in this menu, adjust your ship. And this is something you'll never want to use. At the start of the game, you can put up to 4 points here, and then choose if you want it adjusted for attack or defense. The thing is, this is an autopilot, and the higher level you have it, the more quickly it steers. The autopilot doesn't shoot for you if you have it in attack mode, it just pushes you into enemies, while defense mode pushes you away from enemies. The Fuzzical upgrades at the item store let you increase how quickly the ship respawns, but you will never want to use this. The game is never going to steer where you want it to be. Just to try it out, I cranked it up as far as I could, and put it into an attack mode, and it just doesn't work. Nothing lines up well or effectively. The inn has 2 purposes. You could rest there to recover your health and magic, or you could go to a shoot-'em-up stage. You can pay to warp to a different stage, or just continue onward. Since you purchase power-ups, the shoot-'em-up stages are really straightforward. There's nothing to collect, just keep shooting enemies so that you'll rack up more money. One more problem with Fuzzical Fighter is that the rate at which you earn money is about 1/3 of the rate that you actually need. You will have to repeat stages in order to buy power-ups. Sometimes that will happen because you get blown up and sent back to the king. You lose half of the cash that you have on you when that happens. But you could use a warp item or magic to return instead, heal up at the inn, and then repeat the stage. Your rate of earning is so low, I really didn't get a chance to try out the weapons or power-ups. I just couldn't earn the money in the hour I was playing to use them. The shoot-'em-up segments aren't bad. They're a little bit bland, but not bad. There's 8 stages in all, and they go on for quite a while. Long enough that each stage winds up having several different styles of enemies. Unfortunately, that level length also works against the game, because you're going to be repeating stages a lot. The bosses at the end of the stages aren't that interesting either. They're fairly generic, and unfortunately when you defeat them, the game has one of the worst screen flashes I think I've ever seen. Even if you're not sensitive to that kind of thing, it's going to hurt your eyes and it goes on for a long time. Most Japanese players consider Fuzzical Fighter to be bakage, or a stupid game. That doesn't necessarily mean a bad game, just one that's weird enough that that's the standout feature. But in this case, I'd have to say that Fuzzical Fighter is not that good. You can have shoot-em-ups where you purchase power-ups, but you have to feed players enough cash that they can try them out. And forcing grinding of stages to earn money is just no fun at all. On top of that, the RPG towns don't make any sense, and that ship's autopilot is one of the worst ideas I've ever seen in a shoot-em-up. Sorry, Fuzzical Fighter. I want to like you, but you just make it so hard.